y'all gotta excuse my voice right now. I lost my voice screaming the other day, so you gotta excuse my voice. But overall, I thought it was a good, entertaining, competitive fight. I was happy for that. You know what I mean, because most Canelo fights is just a matter of sitting around waiting to try to figure out what round his opponent gonna get stopped in. So it was good to see somebody fight back and not fight scared. You know what I'm saying, and not give him all of that respect. Um, I mean, like I said, going into the fight, people was like discrediting Munguia and thinking he was just gonna get punished. I wasn't one of those people. You know what I mean? I watched him and followed him for some time now. The kid can fight. I like him. Um, Unfortunately, he just didn't have enough for Canelo the other night. It was some things he did that I liked, and some things he did I didn't like. I like how he was keeping Canelo away in the earlier rounds and keeping him at bay, putting combinations behind his jab, working behind the jab, and letting his hands go. You know what I'm saying? Because for one, Canelo's a counterpuncher, so he needs you throwing one shot at a time to be able to counter you. And for two, he's significantly shorter, so it's going to be harder for him to counter you because he has to get at the range to counterpunch you. So I like when he was doing that, but what I didn't like is how he kept and taking his own height away, trying to sit on the inside with Canelo, like literally bending down, getting short. It was annoying me the whole fight. I'm like, stop doing that, because what you're doing is putting yourself in the line of fire, and giving Canelo a chance to land a clean shot on you. So and that's exactly what happened. You know what I mean? He was doing real good up until the point he got dropped. But that's what happened when you put yourself in the line of fire and you come down to Canelo's height. You know what I'm saying? You fighting him where he wants you at now, instead of where you need to be at. So that's one of the things I didn't like, man. As far as his game plan goes, um, he seemed like he was just trying to outwork Canelo. Like that's what his whole game plan was. And I get it. I understand it, you know what I mean, with Canelo being, such an economical puncher in his fights, it would make sense to kind of try to outwork him. But the thing about outworking him is you still got to be strategic about how you put your punches together, because you're not going to get credit like in the amateurs when you're just throwing a bunch of punches. They're going to give you credit for that. In the pros, you got to throw some punches that's going to do some damage. And that's the ones you're going to get credit for. And it looked like a lot of times McGear was throwing combinations, but wasn't really trying to land nothing significant. He would just throw a barrage of punches, and a lot of them, go by or get blocked and stuff like that. But I mean, of course, there were times where he was landing as well. But for the most part, it was just those barrages of punches. And then, you know, after the fourth round, Canelo kind of, figured him out because he wasn't making no adjustments either. Even after he got put down, he wasn't making no adjustments. And Canelo just kind of, got hip to him and started countering him so he can land the cleaner shots. He wasn't trying to outwork him. He was just catching him in between the shots and countering him. He was a tough kid, though. You know what I'm saying? He was a tough kid. So, and I think he gained Canelo's respect in that fight, too, because Canelo hurt him to the body a couple times, but didn't try to jump on him because he saw like this kid was tough and, he ain't going nowhere. And he even got a second win in the later rounds. So a lot of them later rounds were close competitive rounds. But Canelo edged him out because he was, landing the cleaner shots. But there's like about one or two, maybe even three of those rounds that could have been like, I could see judges seeing it, you know, either way. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, I enjoyed the fight. Um, Canelo's just, Canelo's Canelo. His experience prevailed. It was too much for him. You know what I'm saying? I think it was a great showing for Munguia, and I think his stock goes up from here. You know what I mean? It's a lot for him to go back and learn from, and his stock goes up. It's going to go up, I should say. Canelo is Canelo, man. You know what I mean? It's like it's not much higher his stock can go up at this point, realistically. So, um, but yeah, Jaime goes up from here, I'm sure. And the one thing I will say to that about Canelo in this fight, even though the kid was throwing like amateur-ass combinations, some of those times and some of those exchanges he was getting in shots on him. I don't know if it's a sign of Canelo getting older or whatever and slowing down a little bit because there were times he wasn't looking explosive as he usually does or what. But um, yeah, what I say is that fight didn't make me convinced that he'll beat Benavidez. I'll say that. Though he won convincingly, but he's shown me so far on multiple occasions that he has trouble with long fighters that know how to use their reach, fighters that can move, or fighters that can take his shot. And that's what I've seen in this fight too. But anyway, man, if you like my content, you like my breakdowns, you want me to keep them coming, make sure you like and subscribe. Stay tuned because I'm be dropping more stuff, man.